Hello, I'm Colin Harris, Technical Director of Knoware. We are a specialist business intelligence, analytics and SAS consultancy based in New Zealand. This is the last part of a series of videos where I give independent feedback on the recent SAS Global Forum, held in San Francisco in May 2013. Our feedback covers a range of topics, and all of the previous ones are covered in other videos. This particular video we're covering information and data management. And this is interesting because it's not the traditional area for SAS. It's a range of products that a number of traditional SAS customers aren't aware of, and we thought it was just worth giving an overview and making people aware that these types of capabilities are available through SAS products. They are a bit different, I guess, because it's come from the Dataflux purchase many years ago, and those tools have been updated a lot and integrated into the SAS product set, and they're really an interesting range of products. We as a company getting quite involved and are quite involved in information management generally and unstructured data, and these products help a lot in that area. Okay, so let's carry on through and see the different range of products that we have available. This is only an overview. It really is just a few minutes to let you know they exist, and doesn't really go into tremendous amount of detail. Just the objective is to make you aware that this capability is available from SAS. So what I'm going to go through is showing you a range of options from SAS. These products are available in a suite from SAS. You can buy particular components or the whole overall suite, and they're in the area of information and data management, data governance, data quality, and master data management. The first product is called the SAS Business Data Network. What that is essentially a central location for business definitions. Many organisations have the problem with people defining things in different ways, even simply down to what is a current customer. Different groups will define that in different ways. So this is a central place for the organisation to have those types of definitions, but then it is much more than that. It is not only the definition itself, but it is how that definition consists in terms of data. So a data dictionary for the actual data models that make up the key parts of data within an organisation. It has an audit trail in terms of the changes of business definitions as well. So someone's defined it, their definition got changed 3 days ago, you can see who changed that and why they changed it. And if someone disagrees with something, they can see the history of the changes. For data items, you can see the lineage of that data item as well. It may be net profit. How did net profit get created? Where does it come from? Which data sources feed in and calculations are made to create that net profit? Here's a screenshot. Unfortunately, the screenshots are not very clear, I'm afraid. That is because these have been taken from the conference papers, the latest available information that was available at the time, and on a full screen they're not so clear, but it just gives you a flavour of what those products actually look like. So this is the Business Data Network, range of definitions in here and descriptions of those definitions, and you can go on to look at how those particular data items are related to others. So a nice diagram there that you can follow through the relationships of this data item with other data items. Another product, which all these products are related together really, but this is the Business Rules Manager. The idea here is that you want to have all your rules in one place, so someone who's interested in a particular business rule or how something is created can go to this one location, rather than, and as in most organisations, there is SAS code spread throughout hundreds of folders, thousands of programs, and to work out how something is done is near on impossible, I guess. So that's the objective is to have those business rules created and defined in one place, so a person can go and look to that one place to say, how is this particular thing calculated? So once you've got that definition, how do you use it? Well, those definitions can be used in Data Integration Studio. So you say, I want to create net profit, say, example we used before. So, and the calculation for that, include it within Data Integration Studio, and that logic is automatically included in there. You are not creating that way to create it within Data Integration Studio itself. You can use that within the Enterprise Guide as well, uses these business rules. And the nice thing is with this, it's not only defining the rules, but you can actually test those rules within the tool as well. Define in this particular way, right, let's run that off some real data, see what the results are, check that the results are as we expected. So this is showing you an example from the Business Rules Manager interface, and just give you an example of of a business rule that you can put in place. So in this case, we're dealing with months, and we can see there we've got a range of different options. So if the months are less than 3, or between 3 and 12, or over 12, and in those different cases, we will do particular actions based on what the results actually were. Another product, SAS Data Management Console. What this does is really controls or orchestrates your data management which is happening in your organisation. It's a web-based tool, and it brings together lots of different components. The term I like that they use within this tool is process orchestration. So what you are doing is the conductor bringing together all the different jobs and processes that need to run, whether they be SAS jobs, they could be other jobs as well, web services, SQL jobs, other non-SAS jobs, and you can control and manage those jobs within this data management console. A nice part of this, and I think a really useful part, is the remediation service. What this is doing is helping you improve data quality, and it's an ongoing data quality service. And it allows you to work in 2 different ways. One is an autocorrect method, so it goes back to those business rules that we saw earlier. So using those business rules, you can autocorrect incorrect data values and change those up, do data cleansing to produce what they should be. Or you can do things on a manual basis. If things break the rules, you can put that in through a particular workflow system to say, these records are incorrect, and they can be directed to appropriate people to correct them. And there's a workflow interface that shows you where you are through that workflow, how many have been corrected, and so on. So here's an example from the high-level screen of the data management. You can set this up in different ways. This is just an example with notifications on the left-hand side, alerts in the middle, a job monitor down below showing how the different servers that you're running jobs on and processes are actually running, how they're going against capacity. And on the right-hand side, a whole range of different applications that you may wish to go through to do different things. For example, remediation service, we've talked about that already. Looking at business terms, and of course that goes back to the business data network we looked at earlier. Lineage from the business data network side. So this is really your master interface in to all of those different capabilities. Here's an example from the data quality remediation area. So, and showing the progress here, percent completed, we can see the progress that's being made for correcting the various data quality issues that there have been. Slightly different, but still within these the same product suite as the Federation server. And we'll explain now on the next slide what Federation is. But if you're familiar with the Federation approach, this toolset provides a web console to enable you to manage that federated environment. It allows interfaces back through to SAS. So SAS can set up a federated libname. So what that means is rather than you pointing to a particular database or pointing to a particular folder that has your data tables in it, you can point off to the federated space, and behind the scenes it'll go off and get the data from all the different locations that it needs to. It also supports caching. So the idea with Federation is you're going back to all the underlying source data systems to bring the data together and provide it to for your processing, for your creation of reports or your analysis or whatever you're doing. Caching allows you to define that data is cached, so when it's brought together, it will stay there for faster access for future users. So the concept with Federation, on the right-hand side here, we can see that's the traditional approach for business intelligence, where you bring information from different data sources, extract it from those data sources, transform it into the shape you want, and load it into a physical data warehouse, where you do your reporting and so on from that. The idea with data federation on the left-hand side is you don't actually have a physical data store. You actually have a set of rules or a definition, and that definition goes back to those underlying data source, operational data sources, or whatever that is. So from your application, from your business intelligence aspect, if you go and do some reporting, it feeds back to the rules, and those rules will then go and read the data from the underlying data sources. Not an appropriate model for everyone, because part of the reason of having data warehouses is that you are not going back to the data source, you're not going back to the operational systems and imposing a load on those operational systems, that you pull the data out and have it available in the warehouse. But for some environments, for some scenarios, this approach can be a beneficial one. For example, a data source may be an existing data warehouse, and you may have other data sources that are newer data warehouses or newer data sources, or another organisation's data that can be fed through this federated approach to provide you with the information you need for doing your particular task at hand, whether it's reporting, whether it's actually feeding into another application, or whether it's some analytics or whatever that need actually is. All right, so that's the end of that part of the series of feeding back from SAS Global Forum, and what that was doing was just alerting you to a range of products that a lot of people aren't familiar with that SAS have available in that data and information management area. Don't forget to go and have a look at some of the other parts of the series of feedback that we have from Global Forum 2013. And thank you for watching, and goodbye for now.